Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Conqueror and Commander. This is going to be a game replay featuring my Rakdos Lord of Riots deck. For the complete deck list, go to puremtgo.com and look up my series Conqueror and Commander. You'll find the deck list nicely written out right here with everything all pleasantly laid out for your viewing pleasure. Today we're going to be going up against Child of Alara, who likes to blow everything up, typically some sort of control deck. Stonebrow, who I love. I just love this guy. He's awesome. He's just all in the red zone, large tramplers trampling and smashing into stuff. Lady Evangela here is played by my buddy Neo, who's running basically an Esper control deck. The cool thing about his deck is that it has no cards that were printed as rare in paper. So it does run Force of Will, but that's because it was an uncommon in paper. So it's interesting to see the goofy stuff he pulls out. My opening hand here is 6 lands plus Cryptborn Horror. That's just not going to do. Yeah, I think I said something in the deck tech about just how weird the mana was with this deck. And there's just no early action. I can't get anything going, so I'm going to send it back. And I'm much happier with my second hand, which has 4 lands plus Phyrexian Tower and Harvester of Souls. Stonebrow leads things off with a mountain. I draw Ulamog. Ulamog's not much of an issue here. I put all his dust under Spine Rock Knoll. There was some really good stuff under there. I think there was like a Blood Gift Demon and some other stuff, and I just decided, you know, it's better to have the oh crap button I can press if I really need it and blow the world up. Nothing going on. Child of Alara plays Mana Vault and then Mishra's Workshop. Now this is just, from a 5-color deck, you never really expect Mishra's Workshop, so this kind of makes my ears tingle a little bit, plus the Mana Vault. I'm just not really sure what he's going to get at here. He's also running Vidalcan Shackles, which again, in a 5-color deck is a little weird, unless he's running like Prismatic Omen or something like that. You don't expect that kind of card. Stonebrow is going to play Yavimaya Elder, pretty standard ramp. It's not even really ramp, it's just mana search and draw. Lady Evangela does nothing. I'm going to play my Phyrexian. Oh yeah. So I play my Phyrexian Arena, and Child Vampiric Tutors, and he was going for a copy enchantment, but it turns out he doesn't have it in his deck. And he was kind of bummed because he wanted to copy my Phyrexian Arena. Instead he goes for land tax, which is probably a good play, because Stonebrow is going to start ramping with Explosive Vegetation. No attack from the Elder. Lady Evangela does nothing. So I do a dumb thing here, and like I see that there's 2 artifacts plus the workshop, so I'm worried about a bunch of artifacts, right? So I've drew Viashino Heretic, who likes to blow artifacts up. It'd be great, right? I just go ahead and put him out, and then I blow stuff up. I'm completely forgetting that he has friggin' land tax out here. Heretic only has 1 power, so he can be stolen by the shackles almost immediately. I do a lot of misplays in this game. You're gonna see. So land tax. What are the 3 lands he goes for? Oh, 2 islands and plains. Hey, look at that. And he steals my Heretic. The good thing is I do have Vandal Blast here. Hey, look, there's Hellkite Tyrant. He's gonna be good against the artifact deck, right? Well, he's also gonna be a 6/5 friggin' flying trampler. Okay, so Neil plays Viscopa Confessor, and because the Confessor is an extort creature, he doesn't really have any problems paying a ton of life, and so he's going to pay 7 life so he can see every card in the child's hand, because he's probably wondering what the heck's going on over here as well. And he ends up revealing Impulse, Humility, Ancient Grudge, and Transmute Artifact, and then Fire Ice. So since he's running Humility, my guess, and the transmute, which is kind of a poor man's tinker, but still pretty good. My guess is he's running some sort of combo deck. I have no idea what he's really running, but it's a little scary. Neo decides to get rid of the transmute artifact. So I go ahead and Vandal Blast to get rid of the enchantments and get my Heretic back. I'm sorry, get rid of the artifacts and get my Heretic back. Child does nothing. Stonebrow plays Death's Presence, attacks the child player again because he's probably wigged out too about what's going on over here, and then sacrifices the Elder to pump the Hellkite because of Death's Presence. Death's Presence is a nice little card. I think I ran it in my Skullbriar deck, especially if you have sack outlets and stuff like that. Doesn't do any good against Wraths, but you know, nothing's perfect. And Lady Evangela goes after the child player. I'm drawing cards like a man with Phyrexian Arena. I drew Bloodstained Mire with the god-awful new card frame / art / whatever. God, I hope they change that. And then I play Duplicant to get rid of the Hellkite. The Ancient Grudge is in Child's graveyard, so it might get... my Duplicant might get blown up. I'm not too worried about it right now. There's Sensei's Divining Top. I hate this card. It just slows games down. I mean, I understand it's good. It just makes things so slow. Stonebrow plays Borborg blah blah blah. I'll be honest, I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Borborgmos? B-E. I'm just going to call him B-E because he's huge. I like him. He's a cool dude. Look at how big he is. But anyways, he's a large trampler. Doing large tramply things, probably. Jace's Intuition. And extorts to gain some life back. And then child player quits. He says he has to go. You know, you're playing online. Things like that happen. Signet. I blow up the Signet with Heretic because the Confessor is getting him enough life back. I think he can take 2. Oh, he mystical teachings for Force of Will. So now I've got to worry about Force of Will. And then I go after Borborgmos. And he throws a couple lands at my Duplicant and kills it, and I Damnation, because I just don't want Borborgmos running around picking up lands. And then I play Bojuka Bog here to get rid of Lady Evangela's graveyard, mainly because it has mystical teachings, and I don't want that to be flashed back, because I have no idea what cool stuff could be in Evangela's library. There's Rapacious One. I love that card too. Oh, boo. Return to Dust takes out my Phyrexian Arena and the Death's Presence of Stonebrow. So there goes all my card draw. Sad times. But I do have Bloodgift Demon in my hand. Reassembling Skeleton comes out to play. He's mainly going to be a blocker, is my guess. Time to bring out my Cryptghast so I can start extorting. And then I play Harvester of Souls. Because I assume the Reassembling Skeleton's going to die here, and I hope that to get at least 1 card out of that. Rapacious One goes after Lady Evangela. No block, mainly so I don't get a card, probably. Bunch of little Eldrazi's. And there's Molimo. I love Molimo too. This is like, if Stonebrow was more consistent, and I did make a Stonebrow deck a long time ago, I would love to play these kind of cards. It's just huge, fat, great creatures. The problem with Harvester is that he doesn't trigger with token creatures, which is a little disappointing, but you know what? That's fine. Whatever. Evangela plays Concentrate. And then Fleshbag Marauder, which is a nice little card that gets rid of, like, you know, 1 or 2 little guys at a time. I end up giving up my Harvester because I want the mana doubling from my Cryptghast. And I draw into Reforge the Soul. Okay, so now, essentially what I want to do is draw out the Force of Will that Evangela's holding. So first I play the Bauble and I extort, so that I hit everybody for damage. Then I'm going to play Rakdos. And extort again, I think, yes. And then I'm going to play Kokusho. And here comes the Force of Will. And then I play Bloodgift Demon. So I'm pretty set. I mean, basically next turn I can Reforge if I really want to. Or if I hit somebody for enough mana, I can actually play Ulamog. So I'm thinking, hey, I'm okay right here, right? No problem. I'm at a comfortable amount of life. I'm at 38 life. I'm going to go ahead and attack somebody. Oh yeah, I attack Neo. And he blocks. Oh hey, look at that. It's Overwhelming Stampede. Sweet Mother of Mercy, that's horrible for me. So that basically makes all these little Eldrazi really big. Plus Rapacious one's really big too. He's going to make a bunch of Eldrazi. Molimo's going to be 16. So basically on the table, he could take one of us out and leave one of us pretty severely wounded. He decides to go after... He sends Rapacious one and 2 Eldrazi after me, and then he decides to just take out Lady Evangela. I don't want to drop too far in life. Even if I take all this, it's not going to be enough to kill me, but I just don't want to run into a spot where I'm basically dead next turn. So I go ahead and block just to reduce by 4 damage with my Bloodgift Demon, and I throw him in front of the Rapacious one. So here's my options right now. Oh yeah, I attack with Rapacious or Rakdos. Stop. So that at least I can get some damage in. He's down to 27. So what I could do is play Repercussion and hope that I draw into like Blasphemous Act or one of the other cards that I have, like Mizium Mortars or something like that, that does a bunch of damage to all the creatures and stuff like that. But I just don't want to get to the point where, like, because if I play Repercussion and Reforge the Soul, the only way that I can really get out of it is if I do draw Blasphemous Act, because it's the only one that only costs 1 red mana, and that's all I'll have left over. So I decide not to cast the Repercussion and just cast Reforge the Soul and hope that I draw some sort of wiper spell. But this is kind of a mistake because I do end up drawing Blasphemous Act. Oh well. And then Ulamog gets shuffled into my graveyard and everything gets re-put in. So I'm going to tap all my swamps for mana, pay Blasphemous Act, wipe the board, and play Cryptborn Horror. He's an 8/8. So he took 6 from Rakdos and then the 2 extort spells. So that's not a bad threat, right? But Stonebrow has a brand new hand and likes playing huge fat dudes. So I'm wondering what he's going to throw at me next. Luckily I do have Terminate. Oh, there's an Elder Scale Worm. Now the cool thing about Elder Scale Worm is that it kind of lulls people into a false sense of security, because you're always like, okay, well, there's no way my life's going to go below 7, right? So when I start attacking with my Horror, he's just going to take the damage. Draw Soul Ring. So he goes from 25 to 17. And I play my Coffers. And I play Rakdos again, and then Wormcoil Engine, and then Sun Droplet, and all of a sudden my hand is almost empty. I really need some draw right now. Luckily, though, I can get some life back with Wormcoil Engine. And Rakdos is going to fly over all of his tramplers. He beast withins my Rakdos, which, fine, whatever. I'm not too worried about that. And then Sky Shroud Claim to ramp some more. And then Cultivate. He's worried about the flyer. No attack. I draw another land. God, so much land. And then I'm just going to go all in. Okay, now, so I've got... This is another mistake I do right here. He's got 17. I've got 17 right here. Hey, look at that. 6 plus 3 plus 8. For some reason, I thought I was only able to do 16. And what I was going to do was just attack and hope that he blocked. But then I realized what was going on here, and then I decided to terminate him. And I could have won right here and just terminated the worm, because with one red mountain, there's nothing he's going to be able to cast to stop me. But I forget, and I terminate him after the beast gets blocked. Which is just dumb. But I am able to cast Rakdos again, due to having coffers. And then he plays Sylvan Primordial, which takes out my Sun Droplet. But that's, I mean, that's pretty much game. He admits it too. He says good game. There's Groundbreaker. Not something you see often in Commander games online. There it is. So anyways, that's kind of a typical Rakdos game. There's some outliers, and I'm going to show you the outliers later on. Alright, thank you very much.